English shorthand dictation number 245. Dictation speed 160 words per minute. Ready? Start. Sir, I rise to support this bill. I think this is a great landmark for this government. I congratulate the Honorable Minister and the Honorable Prime Minister for the promises that this government has made for the common man, and this is one of the milestones towards that achievement. Sir, ours is a great country, and I think the entire House will agree with me. We have such a wide diversity. Sir, the greatest boon which the nature has given us is the sunshine. India is one of the most fortunate countries in the world to have almost 360 days of sunshine. Sir, there are countries which die for sunshine. This is a great energy that we have, and all the living things are surviving on this. As the Honorable Minister has mentioned, any country's development depends on the knowledge that it develops. I applaud the efforts made by the Honorable Minister. He has covered most of the points. I applaud the efforts made by the Honorable Minister. He has covered most of the points. At the same time, what we really require is the fundamentals. We have to start from the basics. If we have to make our country strong, we need good education. Unless we have a strong education base, I do not think we will be able to produce the kind of quality of manpower we intend to produce and we aspire to produce. Sir, I stand here to support this bill. Through this legislation, we are going to promote research in science and engineering. We are going to provide funds to encourage research. Sir, research programs in our country are not very strong. People who are engaged in research are working in universities. They are working in institutes of higher learning. They are working in research labs too. They should be encouraged. As a matter of fact, we have more than 300 universities in the country, including deemed universities, and most of the universities, barring the central universities, are affiliating universities. These universities spend most of their time and resources in managing the affairs of the affiliated colleges and the departments in the campus. They have very little time for research. Their main activity is teaching. In fact, research is secondary activity. I can understand that teaching is more important in colleges and universities, but research should be an important activity in our universities. The main hurdle is the affiliating system. In the advanced countries, they do not have this kind of system. All the universities and colleges are autonomous. That is why they give a lot of importance to research. There is a very good example of land grant given to colleges and universities of America to carry on research, and the research was brought to the people. That is why there was no gap between the people and the research. Therefore, this particular attitude has to be adopted in our country also. During the colonial times, our universities could not pay much attention to research. Even after that, we did not have the urge for research. That is why our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, had to establish the national laboratories in the country. I feel that teaching and research should go together in universities and colleges so that our students can get the benefit of research and new knowledge. Sir, we require fundamental research. I find a distinction between basic research and applied research. Basic research goes to the fundamentals. It discovers the universal principles in nature on the basis of which we go to other things. That is why our emphasis should be on research. We have a great pool of talent in the country. Our students are doing well in America. They get funding and they get freedom also. We have to give both the things to our people. If this particular board is going to be really autonomous, it should be autonomous in the real sense of the term. There should not be inference every now and then in their own affairs. Therefore, this particular matter has to be understood in its entirety. Sir, students in our universities and colleges are not going for pure sciences today. The University Grants Commission is worried about the strength of the students taking subjects like physics and mathematics. After 12th standard, students go to join professional courses. Much of the talent goes in for professional courses and students do not come to the science stream. So this also has to be taken care of. In order to promote research, we have to give incentives, we have to give scholarships, we have to give grants and all such things. As far as our own universities are concerned, it should be obligatory on their part to have research not only by individual scientists but also through projects. This is going to be the age of knowledge. That is why research is very important. You cannot generate new knowledge unless you do research. Knowledge is always generated through research. This particular thing has to be understood. I do not have much to say about all this, but this board should be autonomous. Sir, this is the board which is going to encourage and promote research in the field of engineering. It seems to me that the University Grants Commission has been ignored. The University Grants Commission is managing more than 300 universities. That is why the chairman of the University Grants Commission can be taken on this particular board. I know that you are going to have an oversight committee. We have national laboratories across the country. So the experts who are managing these national laboratories should be taken on the oversight committee. It should be an academic body. Though the name of the University Grants Commission includes the word grants, it does not simply give grants. It has to manage academic affairs also. So this particular board should also have this function. It should not only give funds but also frame policies of research. There are many areas which you have not explored so far. For instance, we have abundant sunlight in this country. If you can have a very big project and incentives and awards are given to our scientists, we can make great progress in this particular field. You have come forward with a bill which is going to create history in the field of research. Every industry must have its own research laboratory. It should be made compulsory. It is there in America, Germany, and other countries where every industry has its own laboratory. Since it is a global age, industries are coming up in a free market economy. Therefore, every industry should have its own laboratory. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I am very happy that across the House there is unanimity of opinion that this is a piece of legislation that ought to be supported. I am grateful to each member of this House for having given his support for this particular bill. I am also grateful that we have had a debate on an issue relating to science and technology, something that I had been waiting for a long time and which has enabled the honorable members to express their opinion on various aspects of science and technology. I would like to give a broad picture of where we stand as a country and what we need to do as we move forward. Sir, I just want to mention that not enough money is invested in research and development. I just want to mention the fact that in a country like the United States, on an annual basis, the amount of money for research and development is in the range of $340 billion. In a small country like the United Kingdom, it is $43 billion. In Germany, it is $73 billion. In Japan, it is almost $150 billion. In China, it is about $40 billion. In India, it is only about $8 billion. Now, if this is the kind of investment that our country makes in research and development, then how do you expect the scientific community to deliver? So it is not a question of who is in power and who is out of power. I think it is about time that this nation decided upon its priority. Sir, I support the Collection of Statistics Bill 2007. It is really a very important and historic bill. Sir, this particular Department of Statistics was not known to the public, but the Honorable Minister made it very constructive by building up the ministry. We really appreciate that this historic bill is now introduced and moved by a very young politician who has come forward with all the aspects which were recommended by the National Statistics Commission. There is a need for doing everything to make statistics available in this globalized economy. It is an international obligation which we have to fulfill after we signed as a party to the World Trade Organization. When we became a part of the international economy, we should have everything under the numbers. We keep everything secret. That is the way of life in this country. I agree that there should be secrecy in the industry because it is a very competitive area, but at the same time, we need the data for our own development.